What do you think of when you hear a person has Tourette syndrome? If it's someone shouting curse words, you should know very few people with Tourette's actually do that. Most cases are considered mild to moderate, but it can be very difficult to live with, mostly because it first shows up in young children.
This happened basically overnight. Just the tics started. I didn't know what was going on. She couldn't stop moving.
Lara Hamilton's smiling daughter Bailey was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome when she was 6 years old. Now nearly 15, the movements or tics are not always as noticeable. She pops her wrists, head, and shoulders, sometimes to the point of pain.
Since I have joint popping for my tics, they hurt when I do them way too much, and then I'll be incapable of being able to write.
I tell them that it's involuntary movements that you can't control, and it causes a lot of stress.
Bailey's 13-year-old brother Tanner also has Tourette's. It usually runs in families. Watch one of his tics, his eyes blinking and shifting rapidly. The involuntary movements, or tics, both motor and vocal, are just a part of Tourette syndrome. Many people with TS have ADHD, ADD, or obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD.
You feel like you have to do something, and your body just makes you do it. So it's like, oh, I just turned the light switch off to my bedroom, but your body just like, no, you didn't do it right, so you got to go back and do it again.
Tourette syndrome can be hard to understand, and it's not always easy to live with.
In 6th grade, there was a girl that bullied her.
But Lara wants you to see how TS children can thrive through it all. Tanner is a blue belt in Taekwondo.
I just drew this picture because that's how I felt like.
And a natural artist.
Feel the need to express myself.
Bailey has had several big roles in school plays and musicals.
Don't it feel like the wind is always howling? Don't it seem like there's never any light? When I'm up on stage getting to do these things, I feel like I don't have Tourette's anymore. I feel like, because my tics don't really appear anymore, they're kind of gone when I'm doing what I love most, which is acting. It's the hard knock life. I'm doing this to prove that having Tourette syndrome doesn't necessarily limit you from doing whatever you love to do.
A new normal for this family with endless possibilities. So, how can you tell if your child has Tourette syndrome? First off, it does not affect intelligence. You should know that. The first symptoms usually show up between the ages of 3 and 9, usually small tics. Boys are most commonly affected. It's more common, as you may think, across every gender. As many as 1 in 100 people have milder symptoms like motor or vocal tics. Now, there are medications to control tics and conditions like OCD, and behavior therapy is also showing promise. Now, this is TS Awareness Month. It's important to me because my son has Tourette syndrome. Lara, the parent you met in that video, and I want all parents, teachers, and kids too, to understand what Tourette's is and is not. So please find out more through a link to the Tourette Syndrome Association with this story on KXAN.com. It's a complex disorder. We're still learning a lot about it, but it's important to learn about, I believe.
I learned a lot right there.
Good. Thank you, Jim.